About the Hybrid. The Silencerco Hybrid is the silencer for any platform. Compatible with calibers ranging from 5.56mm to 9mm to 4570 and 458 SOCOM and many in between. The Hybrid is both full auto and magnum rated and can be used on pistols, rifles, and submachine guns. Boasting low 120 dBs on 300 blackout and remaining hearing safe with 4570, the Hybrid offers an unparalleled pairing of versatility and performance, a combination you've come to expect from Silencerco products. What comes with it? The Hybrid comes with a multi-tool and 2 spanner wrenches for mount and front cap installation and removal. Options that come standard with the Hybrid are the piston housing for mounting on pistols and a 5/8 by 24 direct thread mount for mounting on rifles. Also included is a .46 caliber flat front cap. The piston is not included and will need to be purchased separately before the Hybrid can be mounted to a pistol. Mounting options. Other accessories for the Hybrid are sold separately. These include an ASR quick detach rifle mount, 3 lug mount, various direct thread mounts, and several front cap options. The Hybrid is compatible with all Omega and Harvester big bore accessories and mounts, as well as Osprey and Octane pistons and fixed mounts. Minimum barrel lengths for common calibers. The Hybrid is rated down to 10-inch barrels for .223 Remington or 5.56 NATO, 16-inch barrels for .308 Winchester, 7.62 NATO, 4570 and 458 SOCOM. The Hybrid is rated down to 18-inch barrels for all Magnum calibers up to .338. Piston mount. The Hybrid comes with a piston housing mount for installation on a pistol. The piston for your particular host will need to be purchased separately. No tools are needed for installation or removal of a piston from the piston housing. The piston housing will already be installed when you receive your Hybrid. To install the piston, unscrew the spring retainer from the rear of the mount and remove the spring. Place the spring over your piston, then seat the non-knurled end of the piston into the spring retainer. If the spring retainer is properly seated over the piston, you will be able to compress the spring by pressing the spring retainer further onto the piston. Once the spring retainer, spring, and piston are properly combined, seat the assembly into the rear of the Hybrid. Hand tighten the spring retainer until it is firmly installed into the Hybrid. Your Hybrid is now ready to be screwed onto the threaded barrel of your pistol. Removing the piston mount. To remove the entire piston housing mount, you'll need the 2 provided spanner wrenches. Seat the teeth of the spanner wrench that's in your right hand into the notches at the base of the suppressor tube. Seat the teeth of the spanner wrench that's in your left hand into the notches around the edge of the piston housing. Press the handles of the 2 wrenches together. This will cause the piston housing to unscrew in a counterclockwise direction. This can also be done by holding the tube of the Hybrid in your right hand and using a single spanner wrench in your left hand with the teeth seated into the notches of the piston housing. To reinstall the piston housing mount, instead hold the tube of the Hybrid in your left hand and use the spanner wrench in your right hand to tighten the piston housing mount into the body of the suppressor. Direct thread mount. To use the Hybrid on a rifle, you'll need to install the direct thread mount. First, uninstall the piston housing mount from the Hybrid. Next, simply screw the direct thread mount into the tube of the Hybrid, then seat the 3 pegs of the provided multi-tool into the corresponding dimples of the direct thread mount and turn clockwise to tighten. After the mount is installed, screw the Hybrid onto the threads of your barrel. To remove the mount, seat the pegs of the multi-tool into the corresponding dimples of the direct thread mount and turn counterclockwise. Quick detach rifle mount. The quick detach ASR mount for the Hybrid is sold separately. To install the ASR mount, first remove any existing mount from the Hybrid. Screw the ASR mount into the base of the Hybrid. Holding the body of the Hybrid in your left hand, seat the teeth of one of the included spanner wrenches into the notches in the ASR mount and turn clockwise to tighten. Before installing the ASR mount onto the muzzle device of the host, first ensure that the collar of the ASR mount is in the unlocked position. To do this, hold the Hybrid with the base of the mount facing you. Twist the collar of the ASR mount in the counterclockwise direction to unlock. Once the collar is in the unlocked position, slide the Hybrid over the end of the ASR muzzle device. Then turn the Hybrid to thread onto the base of the muzzle device. After the hybrid has finished threading onto the muzzle device, rotate the ASR collar into the locked position. To remove from the host, unlock the ASR collar and unthread the hybrid from the ASR muzzle device. 3-lug mount. If you wish to use the hybrid on a host with a 3-lug attachment, you'll need to install the corresponding 3-lug mount. Leave the piston housing mount installed in the hybrid. Unscrew the spring retainer, then remove the spring retainer and spring from the hybrid. Next, thread the 3-lug mount into the piston housing. To install the 3-lug equipped hybrid onto a host, seat the mount over the end of the barrel so that the 3 tabs on the muzzle fit into the 3 notches of the mount. Press the hybrid firmly toward the host. You'll feel the 3-lug mount compress. While continuing to press the hybrid toward the host, rotate the silencer a quarter turn clockwise until you feel it stop. At this point, stop pressing the hybrid toward the host. You should feel the hybrid move forward as the 3-lug mount stops compressing. The hybrid is now installed onto the host. To remove the hybrid, reverse these steps. Specialty weapon mounting. The hybrid is also compatible with hosts such as the CZ Scorpion or Sig Sauer MPX. To use the hybrid with these hosts, you will need the Octane fixed barrel mount for CZ Scorpion or Sig Sauer MPX. Leave the piston housing mount installed in the hybrid. Unscrew the spring retainer, then remove the spring retainer and spring from the hybrid. Replace the spring retainer and spring with the appropriate Octane fixed barrel mount. Screw the mount into the back of the hybrid and hand tighten. Your hybrid is now ready for installation onto a CZ Scorpion or Sig Sauer MPX.